Greetings, Splash here with another vague comic review, and this one is the Green Arrow, but it's not the Green Arrow that's Oliver Queen. It is his son, Connor Hawke, who took over his father's legacy after Oliver Queen was pronounced dead in issue 100 of the comic series. Now, this comic started since 1988, in which Oliver Queen was the main character. And in issue 100, the beginning of 101, Green Arrow was killed off. The writer put in those pages they have, usually explaining their ideas or the reasons they do this or that. The writer explained that he killed off Green Arrow because the editor told him to kill him off, because at this point in the 90s, they wanted to replace the main heroes with younger heroes. And unfortunately, Oliver Queen fell into that spectrum. That was why in issue 100, even though Superman offered to, use his laser beams to cut through Oliver's arm that was strapped to the bomb, Oliver refused. He'd rather die. And that was because he had to be killed off. So, before the resurrection came, Oliver Queen was supposed to have stayed and be dead, and Connor Hawke took over his father's legacy. Now, I'm going to talk about this because I didn't read a whole lot of Green Arrow comics, Oliver Queen's versions. I mostly found issues of Connor Hawke's comics, and I've looked through them, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about them. I read about 10 issues, so it gave me some clarity, insight about Connor Hawke himself, and he is a very interesting character. At the start of 101, Connor Hawke is going through his father's things, and Black Canary, Oliver's girlfriend, or I guess ex, because Oliver Queen's dead, she talks a little bit about Ollie and gives the bow to Connor Hawke, and he takes it, and it's almost like he goes through this personal quest to figure out about his dad and himself, and in the end, he dons the Green Arrow outfit. And I thought it was a really great transition from Oliver Queen to Connor Hawke. Usually, I'm not too keen on a character taking over another character's legacy, but I don't know why. It felt right here. Could be the writer, Dixon? If I mess it up, I'll fix it in the description. He's a pretty good writer. And after this, the 10 issues that I read, it felt more like there was one big plot, but there are many plots in each comic because they're floppies and they have to have a beginning, middle, and end. It probably wouldn't make the readers too happy if each comic ended with almost like you're watching an episode of a TV show and it just ends and you're waiting to wonder, okay, well, what happens afterwards? It can be annoying. So the main plot is Connor Hawke's looking for his biological mother, who I believe she was taken by a mob boss. I apologize if I got that wrong. I will also correct myself if that's wrong. But while he's looking for her, while he's on his quest, he meets different characters along the way. And of course, he's a hero, so he helps people out, such as Connor Hawke himself. I apologize. I did not give a little insight about this guy. He was raised as a Buddhist, I believe. And he's a vegetarian, and he learned how to fight and shoot bow and arrows with, I believe, the Buddhists, and also Ollie also came over and taught him. So he's a good fighter. And the Buddhist temple, I believe, was going to be paved over. They're going to be kicked out, evicted. So there could be a Winky Land, which is their version of Disneyland. And Connor Hawke was able to convince the owner to not do that if Connor Hawke could. Well, here's the thing. The owner of Winkyland wanted to build a park in Mexico, but there have been problems there. Connor offered to try to solve the problem there, and if the problem is solved and the owner can build Winkyland in Mexico, then he'll think about not doing it there. Well, in the end, doing a long adventure, it took 2 issues. Connor Hawke succeeded, and the Winkyland owner actually came through with his promise. I believe he gave him a time limit, like he held off for a bit of time, but he actually stuck by his word, somewhat. And then there's other issues where Connor Hawke meets up with Robin in an issue. He meets up with Green Lantern for an issue. And then there's an issue where Connor Hawke is protecting this boy, who I believe is the prince of a nation. And the boy wants to hire Connor Hawke as a bodyguard because he's a good fighter. There was even an issue with Connor Hawke. I believe in order to get some money, he even became a fighter, like a fighter in a wrestling ring. He didn't want to, but I think someone kept coaxing him that he can get the money. He can have money if he did that. And Connor Hawke, I believe, needed the money. So he finally was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And there was an issue where Connor Hawke met with... okay. So the boy who owns a nation, he had two other bodyguards. And I swear, I think they were inspired by Chuck Norris and Jet Li / Bruce Lee. I could be wrong, but they looked like real life actors. And even Connor Hawke was wondering, like, wait, are you guys who I think you are? But I don't think they ever clarify who they are, but it was funny. So these comics in general, they were fun. Each plot was simple. Connor Hawke beat a bad guy, and then he continued on his quest. And I guess it was enjoyable because I read the 2000s Green... Okay, this comic is in the 90s. I read the 2000 Green Arrow, and it was okay, but the problem was, for me, it all took place in one city. And I don't know, I feel like Green Arrow's character does better traveling. I don't know why, that's just me. I guess maybe because it's city and... what is it? Arrows, to me, don't work well in a city. They do for Green Arrow, but it just doesn't work for me. Connor Hawke travels the region. He's meeting different people. It's better for me. I like it. And in the end, he does find his mom. And in a surprise twist, his mom told him that she was never kidnapped. She wanted to be with this guy. This verbally abusive guy who... I don't believe... It didn't like Connor, but the mother still stayed with him. But it caught me off guard. And Connor Hawke, he took it like a man and told her, okay, and went on his way. But, yeah, Connor Hawke, he's one of my favorite DC characters, just because I read his stories. I don't know why. I can't figure out why. He just clicks with me. So, stories are fun. I just want to bring a little bit out there about who Connor Hawke is, because before I found these comics, I did not know who this guy was. When I first saw Connor Hawke in the comic, my first thought was, who the heck is this guy, and why did he take Green Arrow stuff? But after reading the comic, I learned, okay, this is Green Arrow's son, who I had never heard about until this issue. I believe he was even around trying to rescue his dad, but in the issue 100. But that issue, to me, was a little confusing because that was the only Oliver Queen Green Arrow 90s issue I had. So I had no idea what was going on or why this was happening. I figured it out reading it along the way, but it was a little confusing. So all in all, Connor Hawke, Green Arrow's issues, I believe 101 to, I believe 110. Yeah, 110. They're good. I highly suggest reading those if you like reading comics in which the character travels from place to place and meets different people. I like those type of stories. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.